Steve again. I'm back. I hope you got a chance to take a look at the free samples in the last video hooked up with that post there. I hope you had a chance to download them and look through them and have an opportunity to sample some of these products. Right now I want to tell you about the single biggest mistake that EMTs make when they're taking the National Registry exam. The single biggest mistake. And this is not from me or from my personal experience. This is actually from the National Registry themselves. This is what they tell us is their idea or their concept of the single biggest mistake and then why they think that. Believe it or not, the single largest mistake that people make when they're taking this test is going too fast through the test and misreading the questions. And that makes total sense to me because in my EMT class, I do a lot of student tutoring. One of the things we do is we take a test, like a large test, like a midterm exam, after the students have taken the test, and we sit down and we go through it with them. And it's so frequent that when a student has an opportunity in a relaxed setting where they're not under any pressure and there's no clock ticking, to carefully read a question, they'll read the question and immediately, they'll see that thing that they missed. If only they had slowed down and read the test a little bit slower. I'll tell you why the National Registry thinks this is the biggest mistake people make. Because on average, less than 1% of students run out of time while they're taking the exam. And that surprises some people because that clock definitely psychs students out. You have that clock in the corner and it's ticking down or it's ticking up, showing you how long that you've been taking the test, and that really puts pressure on test takers to read the questions faster. These aren't the kinds of questions that you can read fast. You need to slow down. So what can you do to avoid making the biggest mistake that EMTs make while they're taking this test? The first thing you can do is when you're taking practice tests, like the practice test in the last video, or in the last video sample practice test, is to put a clock on the desk there and watch the time tick. So you get used to the idea of a clock ticking while you're taking an exam. The other thing is don't hurry yourself. Actually force yourself to take between 30 and 90 seconds on every single question that you're answering. So if you look at it and you think you know right away, slow yourself down. Don't let yourself answer a question and move on in faster than 30 seconds. You would actually like to be somewhere between 30 and 70 seconds when you're answering that question. So really slow down and pace yourself and give yourself the time. Let yourself know, hey, I'm going to be looking at this question for at least 30 seconds. So I might as well slow down and read it very careful. You're going to do yourself a huge favor and you're going to avoid the single biggest mistake that EMTs make on the National Registry exam.